Welcome to Community Conversations. I'm Frederick County Executive Jan Gardner, and joining me today is our new Director of Human Resources, Wayne Howard. Welcome, Wayne.
Good morning.
It's nice to have you here. I hope your first few weeks in county government have gone well.
It's been great, yes.
And you've come back, so that's made me happy.
That's a good sign.
So for our viewing audience, can you tell them a little bit about yourself and your background and why you ended up in HR?
Okay. I have over 30 years of HR experience. I've worked at the state, local, and federal levels. I enjoy HR. I'm from Baltimore, went to the University of Maryland. I have a bachelor's degree and a master's degree from University of Maryland. My master's is in public policy. Okay. I thought at one point I may work on Capitol Hill doing public policy, but I've been in HR my whole career. I'm a father of 5 children, 2 boys, 3 girls. And I have 4 grandkids, so that keeps me pretty busy.
Yeah, that'll keep you pretty busy.
Yes.
So the grandkids are pretty exciting.
Yes, absolutely.
Every jurisdiction is different. Obviously, you've worked at the local level in a couple different places, and certainly local government's a bit different than state and federal in terms of the services that are provided. So what do you think the main mission is of human resources in Frederick County government?
Sure. Well, primarily to be a support service to the departments and the customers we serve, the internal as well as external customers. We function pretty similarly to most HR operations. HR should be more or less I want to say, intermediary between employees and management. We obviously work with employees to answer and resolve issues they have, as well as with management. So we're here to support the needs of the organization and to make sure that management as well as employees have their needs met.
So what do you think the best way is to make sure that we maintain a good morale in county government or in any organization?
Well, I believe it's more of giving employees a voice, listening to them, making HR accessible. Very often HR is a mysterious kind of organization. In many cases, employees only interact with HR when they have problems. So we would like to find a way to get out more, to, I guess, extend ourselves to employees and managers. So we are kind of a part of just the ongoing everyday operation, and we're not the go-to when there's a problem.
Right. So, yeah, if they come to you when there's a problem, it may be a little late in the game. We'd like to address people's concerns before it becomes a problem.
Yes.
So, and I think part of that role to make sure that happens is to have HR really talk to all the division directors and all the people management positions so that they can figure out how to solve their own problems before they become problems, how to get in front of things.
Sure, absolutely, yeah. I guess in the recent history, it's been talked about as HR being more of a business partner, strategic, early on in terms of initiatives in the organization and desires of departments to want to make changes and reorganize, so yeah.
Now, you haven't been in the position for very long yet, but do you have any ideas or anything that you think that we should be focusing on to make sure our employees feel valued?
Pretty much. One of the things we're looking at, we're in the midst of installing a new HR human resource information system, and a part of that will be an employee selection feature that will allow, or self-service, I'm sorry, which will allow employees to have access to certain things that are in their personnel, such as things to allow them to make changes in addresses and income tax and view benefits and that sort of thing. So we're trying to find ways to empower employees as well as to get out and be more accessible to our employees.
Okay. I know you have had some private sector background as well. What do you see as the key differences from an HR perspective between public sector government and the private sector?
Fundamentally, HR works the same in the private as well as public. I guess the difference is because we're public, we have more requirements with respect to recruiting and certainly even terminating. So it's easier to be hired and fired in the public sector than it is in the public sector. But beyond that, it fundamentally works the same, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, people are people everywhere, right?
That's true, yes.
Okay. So you have a very small division,
Mm-hmm.
and so how does that compare to other places that you've been in terms of what you manage, like benefits and pension plans? Have you had those things within HR in the past?
Sure. We have approximately 10, 11 people in HR. We have all of the services, recruitment, classification, benefits, employee relations. So we do fundamentally the same things. It just means that we have to be more efficient. I think the largest operation I've worked in was the state health department, and we provided HR service for the state. And we were probably 45, 50 people. So we are kind of in the range of the, I guess, normal for the size of organization we have.
Okay.
Yes.
So do you have any focus for the division in the future where you think you want to take HR?
One of the things I think we need to, I guess, enhance is our training. We don't have necessarily a training presence for the county government within HR. So at some point I'd like for us to do more with training, and I'm not sure how that would look. It could mean at some point we may have a trainer that's part of HR. But I think that's important. There are a lot of areas in which we could provide help to the county by increasing the training, I guess, footprint, so to speak. So, yes.
I think that's a good idea. One of the things we've tried to focus on, at least a little bit, has been succession planning. During the recession, a lot of mid-level jobs were eliminated.
Sure.
And so as those of us who are in that baby boomer generation reach retirement age, we need to make sure there's somebody behind us to replace us that has had some experience and development so that they can do that. So we've instituted this kind of internal Frederick leadership program, but that's really new to us. So I think having training in government is a good idea so that people can also see a career path.
Sure, absolutely. I agree. And I think most organizations are experiencing that. We do have the baby boomers who are beginning to exit. However, because of the economy, some baby boomers are staying longer. So it may not be as acute of a problem as we anticipate it may be.
So, well, we're fortunate that we do have some younger people in our community. That population is growing, and hopefully we can bring some talent on board as well. I think having a mix of people of all ages is good because new people bring new ideas.
Yes. We now have the millennials that everyone speaks of, so they certainly are poised to, I guess, move into the roles of the baby boomers.
That's right.
Yes.
So any other observations you'd like to share?
I think having worked in a lot of organizations that we are pretty well, I guess, powered to provide the service that we need for the county. We have, I guess, a very well-run HR operation, in my opinion, and we have done a lot with, I don't want to say a little, but they've really, I guess, provided a lot of service. I just hope we can continue to do that and to meet the needs of the county as it grows and expands.
Well, we're happy to have you on board. We have had the same HR director for his entire career for 38 years, so you are stepping into a division that has had the same consistency for a long time. And so I think you've brought a sense of calm and to change, and that's a good combination of things, change and calm at the same time.
It is, and I'm not sure I would be here for 38 years, but certainly I want to be here for quite some time.
Well, very good. So if people are interested in finding out about a job in the county or applying for a job, how can they get that information?
They can go to the Frederick County Government website, and Human Resources has a link there. And our jobs are updated pretty much weekly or daily, so every job that we're recruiting for will be on that site.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you for all you do. We're happy to have you on board, and we look forward to seeing some more training for our employees in the future.
Okay, well, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So thank you for joining us for this edition of Community Conversations. If you see Wayne Howard around county government or around town, please say hello and welcome him to Frederick County. Thank you for joining us.